I'm going to start this podcast off by playing a snippet from Barack Obama's acceptance speech in 2008, when he was elected the first African American president of the United States. He campaigned on hope and change.
The answer told by lines that stretched around schools and churches in numbers this nation has never seen, by people who waited 3 hours and 4 hours, many for the first time in their lives, because they believed that this time must be different, that their voices could be that difference. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled, Americans who sent a message to the world that we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America.
As much as I love seeing Barack Obama become the commander-in-chief, I always wondered, who came before him? Who had the courage as an African American to take on a wildly non-diverse political landscape? I dug deep and found the name of John Hanson. It was circulating quite a bit. John Hanson was a Liberian senator who worked with the American Colonization Society, with claims of him being the first African American president. After months of research, I can safely say those claims are false. There was no evidence or recorded documentation that he was in the role of commander-in-chief. So I went back to the drawing board and looked on a broader scale of politicians who were African American, and I came across so many great and inspirational stories. The person I'd like to highlight today came from the Reconstruction era of 1865 through 1877. The Reconstruction era was an important time in American history, when the country was trying to figure out its identity after the Civil War. A big part of this change was the struggle for civil rights and the political rights of formerly enslaved African Americans. Despite facing a lot of pushback, acts of terrorism, racism, some individuals made a real impact in their communities and voiced change throughout the United States. One of these individuals was Pierre Caliste Landry, who stands out for his contributions, boldness, and bravery during this period. In 1868, Landry was elected as the mayor of Donaldsonville, Louisiana, making him the first African American mayor in the United States. His life journey goes beyond this milestone. He wore many hats. Landry was a lawyer, legislator, minister, and educator. Throughout this podcast, I will present Landry's life, his political career, and his lasting legacy, giving a glimpse into Black empowerment during and after the Reconstruction era. Hidden Chronicles of Black America, the story of Pierre Caliste Landry. Pierre Caliste Landry was born into slavery on March 19, 1841 in Ascension Parish, Louisiana on a plantation. Even while enslaved, Landry managed to get an education, which was quite rare for African Americans back then. His owners recognized his intelligence and allowed him to learn from private Catholic tutors. He later went on to attend Southern University in New Orleans and Straight University, where he studied law and theology. These schools were vital for nurturing Black leaders in the South. After the Civil War, when African American men gained the right to vote and hold office due to the 14th and 15th Amendments, Landry seized the opportunity. In 1868, at just 27 years old, he was elected mayor of Donaldsonville, a town mainly made up of freed men. His election wasn't just a symbolic victory, it showed what Black political power could achieve in the South at this time. Donaldsonville was in a good position to elect a Black mayor because of its demographic makeup and willingness to embrace political change, making it easier for Landry's campaign to succeed. During this time as mayor, Landry worked on improving public education, sanitation, infrastructure, and civil rights. He pushed for policies that benefited everyone, understanding that good governance could reflect the ideas of Reconstruction. Landry's time in office challenged many stereotypes, especially at a time when negative stereotypes were often used to undermine black officials. Landry managed to block out the noise and govern with integrity. His success provided a counter-narrative to the white supremacy ideology that was starting to gain ground again, especially with the establishment of the terror organization known as the Ku Klux Klan. Landry didn't stop at being mayor. He continued his public service in various roles in Louisiana state government, including serving in the House of Representatives and later in the state Senate. He also became a parish judge and tax assessor, despite facing threats from white supremacist groups because in 1877, the federal truth protection ended because of the 1877 Compromise. As a dedicated minister, Landry became a notable figure in the African American Methodist Episcopal Church. Landry helped establish churches and schools across Louisiana. His religious works was deeply tied to his civic engagement, with churches playing a key role in community building and political activism. Landry firmly believed in education as a pathway to progress. He was involved in founding schools for black children and advocated for the establishment of New Orleans University, which later became Dillard University after merging with Straight University. Even with all his achievements, Landry faced many challenges during the Reconstruction period. By the late 1870s, as federal support for Reconstruction weakened, Southern states began reasserting white dominance through various legal and violent means. The introduction of Jim Crow laws and tactics aimed at suppressing black voters severely limited their political participation. Unfortunately, like many black leaders at this time, Landry found himself pushed out of formal politics. Nonetheless, he remained active in religious and in educational efforts. Landry continued to support his community in important ways that weren't always in the spotlight. Pierre Caliste Landry's legacy runs deep. As the first black mayor in the U.S., he represents what democracy and inclusion could look like during the Reconstruction era. His story is also a reminder of how quickly advancements can be undone without institutional support and racism. Landry's contributions to politics, education, and the black church helped lay the foundation for future African American leaders. Pierre Caliste Landry was a man ahead of his time, a lawyer, a legislator, minister, and the first African American mayor in the U.S. His life reflects the hope and change that we are still seeing in modern politics. Pierre Caliste Landry, I salute you. Hidden Chronicles of Black America was written by Von Keith and produced by Von Keith Sounds and Studios. If you like this content and want to hear more projects like this, please visit www.vonkeithsounds.com or search for us on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.